I'm Prasad and I hold the world record for being the fastest to travel to every nation. Welcome to my 31st episode of my World Travel Stories. And today I will share about my travels from Guinea-Bissau to Guinea-Conakry in West Africa. I always tried my best to save money by traveling in the cheapest mode of transportation. And the money that I saved, I invested in the next country. The majority of Africa, corruption and bribery are so rampant that I tried to fly as much as possible so that I don't have to pay those bribes at the checkposts. Traveling by flights in Africa is quite expensive. But when I must choose between saving money and living a righteous life, I would choose the latter even if it costs a lot more. I had purchased 8 tickets on Air Senegal and spent about $4,000. On the 30th of April 2009, I came to know that Air Senegal had gone bankrupt and all my 8 flight tickets, which I'm supposed to travel on Air Senegal, are cancelled. This is the email I wrote to the reservations, but I did not get any reply till today. I took a bus from Nouakchott in Mauritania to Dakar in Senegal, and when I went to the airline office, it was closed. Because of the airline bankruptcy, the only option for me to continue my travels was to use bush taxis, and my biggest challenge was to cross so many checkposts without having to pay a bribe. I was the only non-African in these bush taxis. It took me 9 hours to travel from Dakar to Banjul, the capital of Gambia. From Banjul, it took me 13 hours to reach Guinea-Bissau and another 20 hours from Bissau to Conakry, the capital of Guinea. It is extremely hot, about 40 degrees Celsius. The bush taxis were jam-packed with people and luggage. For example, this is how the bush taxis would look with no exaggeration. On the 11th of June 2009, I left Bissau in a bush taxi and I knew the journey would take about 20 hours. By now, the people in the taxi knew I would not give any bribe at any cost. On one hand, they were appreciating the stand I had taken, but on the other hand, it frustrated them with the time that was getting wasted. At each checkpost, I would spend at least 20 to 30 minutes explaining to the officers why I am not willing to give an amount that is equivalent to $1 as a bribe. We had reached our 17th hour of our travel, and this time the officer at the checkpost was very nasty. He said, "Everyone is giving money. Why can't you give?" I said, "I'm not everyone. I'm a Christian and giving a bribe goes against my faith and principles." He asked me to take my luggage off the taxi and will send me back to Bissau. This means traveling back 17 hours and I don't even have a visa to go back to Guinea-Bissau. It was truly a test. But I thank God for giving me the strength to be determined not to give a bribe, even though it is just $1. I took out my orange suitcase and my guitar, and everyone else got back into the taxi. The officer was staring at me and asked the driver to move on. As soon as the taxi moved forward, the officer asked the driver to stop. And he looked into my eyes and said, "You really are a stubborn guy," and asked me to put my luggage into the taxi and move on. I was the happiest person, and everyone in the taxi was amazed at my stand. I told everyone, if each of us can take a stand, then we can see corruption being eradicated from our respective countries, including my country, India. We arrived at our last checkpost at the 19th hour of our trip. This time, when the officer came to ask for money, everyone said, "Officer, first try to get the money from this Indian gentleman." So the officer asked me, and I explained the same thing, that I'm a Christian and giving a bribe goes against my faith and principles. The people, being united, said together to the officer, "If Benny is not willing to give a bribe, we shall also not give a bribe." We were let go, and we arrived in Conakry, the capital of Guinea, at 8 a.m. on the 12th of June 2009. What would have taken 1 hour and 15 minutes by flight took me 42 hours by road without including the stops. As soon as I arrived, I had 10 minutes to take a quick shower as there were many journalists who were waiting for the press conference. That evening, I did a concert at the City Hall. I enjoyed listening to the kora, which is a West African instrument, and even did a duet with a famous kora player. I'm reminded of two scriptures from the Holy Bible. Galatians 6:9 says, "So let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up." Proverbs 11:18 says, "The wicked man earns deceptive wages, but he who sows righteousness and lives his life with integrity will have a true reward that is both permanent and satisfying." Dear friends, many times it is very challenging to live a righteous life, especially those of us who are living in a corrupted society. I must be honest, many times I'm tired of trying to live an upright life when the result can be delays, denials, or even loss of money. Just like how Proverbs 11:18 says, "I have seen the true reward at the end." With 100% conviction, I can say that I have never given a bribe, and I could travel to every nation on this earth, and I could even do it in record time, even though that was not my intention. I traveled on a shoestring budget, and I saved money wherever there was a possibility. When I had to choose between character and the end result, I would choose character even if I must lose the opportunity. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do go to youtube.com/BennyPrasad, and there's a bell icon there. Please click on it so that every time I post a video, you will be notified. I would love to receive your comments too. Please share these videos with your friends and family so that they can be blessed too. God bless you all.